welcome back to my channel. So I have 2 blocks and a set of weights, but you don't need a set of weights if you don't have them. I often get asked what my daily stretch routine looks like. So here are some of my favorite ways to warm up for the day. You can also do this at the end of the day, of course. Whatever is good for you. So we are going to go ahead and get started. I started doing a lot of spinal movement just to kind of wake my body up. So I just come into a standing position and kind of just roll around. Starting to feel just whatever is arising and just really starting to take notice. I know a lot of us tend to sleep on our side, so we start to find a lot of tension that may develop from sleep. So just finding some gentle spinal movements are great. The next thing I do is I come to the wall. So I'll do it over here so you can see. This plant's kind of in the way, but I just push, rounding, and then think of rolling forward, finding a gentle stretch. Exhale as you press away, really just opening up. I woke up feeling a lot of tightness and tension in my shoulders because I slept on my left side last night, so that is kind of starting to rise. The next thing that I do is I find my stretch on the wall, which I've shown in my videos previously, but I bring my knee close to the wall. Finding a mat or a cushion, is going to feel a lot better than just putting your knee on the hard floor. So the more you try to round your back and press your low back into the wall and send your hip flexor forward, that's going to get a deep stretch in this quad. So try to hold here for up to a minute, but 30 seconds, of course, to work your way up. I found we often see better results when we don't try to push our bodies too hard at once. You can really gradually increase the time or increase your load, whatever it may be, by doing small little increments of increase. So after you've done this, you're going to come forward. If you have blocks, it makes it a bit easier. So this is going to get more into the hip flexor. Rather than rounding through your lumbar spine, you're going to think of sending your pelvis forward, really sending that hip flexor towards the front. Think of finding that scooping action. So just hold here and breathe. And then do that on the other side. So if I don't have a lot of time, I'll do 30 seconds on each side just to really start to open up. So think of driving that low back into the wall. Ooh, my quads are tight from this lift I did 2 days ago. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Eventually coming forward, finding those blocks. Perfect. So the next thing I like to do is place my block onto the wall. And taking a calf stretch, you can put the sole, so the mid of your foot, onto the block. Place the other foot back. You can sort of diagonal it, or the straighter you get it, the more intense it's going to be. Then I like to bring my elbows onto the wall, cross my palms. Really bring my forehead to the top of my palms. So this should be a really deep opener in your calf. And then switch this out. Of course, we have to take it on the other side. Always, I find that one side is so much tighter than the other. That would be this side for me. I sort of have to find a position. Good, and then here is another one that I like to do with the blocks. So I do this after the one that I just did, placing the middle of my foot onto this block. Oop, you have to kind of be careful so you don't fall, but you are going to fold forward. You can use the other block to really press it down, and this one is really, really deep. Great. So from there, you should have opened the back of your legs. Then I find my pyramid stance. So the back foot is at 45 degrees, front foot turned forward. And then really fold over that front leg. So try to make sure that your right hip is continuing to extend forward. So try to keep that lean through your spine. If this is your edge, that is good. If you can take it a bit further, you can start to crawl the palms back. And then to add extra, you can reach one palm across. And switching it out. Reaching the arm across. Great job. So from here, I come down to the mat. If you have weights, this is where you can use them. If you don't have weights, that's all good. We're just going to take the butterfly stretch. So if you don't have weights, you can bring, I like to think of bringing my elbows to the middle of my shins. Exhale as you roll forward. It kind of keeps you honest if you're against the wall, because then you're not really able to move and shift position. So I hold this stretch. And then from here, actually, let's not use weights. So there I go, I bring my elbow towards the opposite top of my opposite foot, bring the palm towards the knee and take a twist. So eventually think of tapping your nose onto the opposite knee. This should be really deep for the side body. And then switch that out, elbow towards the top of the opposite foot, reaching the palm towards the opposite knee, pressing as you send your nose to the opposite knee. And then lift it up. So here is where I find my weights. You can also use whatever you have, blocks, your hands. So place them towards kind of the inside of the thigh, really just allowing whatever is popping up to release. We hold so much tension in our hips, just holding here. So my left one is way more lifted than my right, but it's okay, it's all good. It is what it is. So I hold this for about a minute. You can give whichever one is more higher some extra love. So if you want to just work to lower one down, for me, my left, I will lift the opposite leg up. And then really just trying to keep this left hip all the way down. Now it's down. I took a whole extra 15 pounds and some push, but that is, our bodies are in balance. But like I said, it's all good. It is what it is. From here, I like to find this lovely stretch. So this is a bit intense. I'll give you two options. So you can bring one leg out, cross the ankle over the top of the thigh, press as you lift up. So this already is pretty intense for me, but I will do this to start off with and then go to my next variation, which I'm going to show you in a second. Woo! Glute day got me good. Gets really intense. So from there, switch it out, take this on the other side. So you can interlace the palms and then bring the one arm through underneath your calf. Okay, so from here, you can add the block, placing it onto the top of the thigh. Cross the foot over, and then slowly lift it up. This one is really intense, so you should really feel your outer glute like screaming at you. Really remember to breathe. And switch it out. That was honestly like all that I could hold of that because it was so freaking intense. So this leg is a lot less tight for me. Okay, and that was that. I feel so much less tight and just ready to really start my day. So I hope y'all have an amazing day wherever you're watching this. I will see y'all next week.